This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Hey, great friends, what's happening? It is a Friday afternoon here on Kaplan and Crew, finishing up a great week. You know, last week we were in LA, we were at the Super Bowl, we were talking Super Bowl. Monday was the aftermath, and there have been storylines that have gone all week long, from the Rams victory parade to Aaron Donald making the rounds to LeBron James showing AD nothing but love. I mean, we've had a lot of interesting post Super Bowl storylines, but Grande,
Yes.
as we pull in here on Friday afternoon at the 7 Mile Casino Studios, you said to us earlier in the day, have you guys seen what's the latest in the Stafford story? And the Stafford story is about this photographer who's on stage and she falls off the stage. Stafford's wasted drunk and he's like, I'm going the opposite direction. He sees it and goes, oh my God, I'm out of here. Kelly Stafford's like, oh my God. She walks to the end of the stage to try and help. I mean, not, you know, and you pointed it out, Alex. It looked like a high stage, like 8 to 10 feet. And the girl, her name's Kelly Smiley. She went to San Diego State. She's showing video, and we're watching it right now. She's in like one of those turtle suits. So like if somebody has some sort of a back injury and they want to make sure that the torso is immobilized, they put you in one of these turtle suit thingies. And she's went to the hospital, and what did she say? She broke something in her
Fractured
back?
her spine.
Yeah. So then
So that was the story yesterday.
Okay.
But also,
right.
you know, the whole GoFundMe, but then we already said in the last segment that the Rams and Matthew Stafford, probably just the Rams, will be taking care of all her medical expenses and also replacing all of her camera equipment.
Well, what happens to all the money that was in the GoFundMe? Like if you're Pat McAfee and you donated $5,000, which was a very sweet gesture, what happens to that? Does she still get the GoFundMe money too?
That GoFundMe finished at $48,000.
Yeah. Is that her money?
Yeah, better be.
Really? So now the Rams / the Stafford family, they pay for all of her medical expenses and they buy her new camera equipment.
Yes.
But the 48 grand is from people that felt bad about it and wanted to support her.
Yeah. Also, like the Seattle Seahawks donated
They put in
$500.
Really? How much? Really?
Yeah, I'm just going through the top.
How about the Chargers? Did the Chargers?
Come on now.
What?
Dino's locked up in litigation, man. He can't
Dino can't offer no help to nobody because he don't he don't come through.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you guys. Did you ever see, because I didn't and I wasn't looking for it, but did anybody like the Dodgers or the Lakers, did any of them put out like social
Yes.
media? They did?
The Dodgers and the Lakers both did.
Congratulatory, way to go, way to win the Super Bowl, way to represent
Yeah,
that
I'd
kind of
have to
thing?
look it up, but I know that.
Okay, but
I know that they definitely did.
did the Chargers ever have enough class?
Come on now.
Oh, come on. I mean, really, look, everybody brags about what a great job, the Chargers social media team does. Okay. Everybody say, oh my God, the Chargers social media team. If social media were football, the Chargers would be winning the Super Bowl. Look, if you share a stadium and the landlord wins the Super Bowl, it's just a class thing to do. You're in the AFC, they're in the NFC. You share a stadium. You theoretically share a marketplace. If the Dodgers are going to send congratulations and the Lakers are going to send congratulations, why would the Chargers not say, hey, congratulations to our roommates at SoFi Stadium?
I mean, let me look it up. Let me see if they did.
Okay. All right. Take a look.
Don't imagine this
look-see.
being a very long search.
No.
But I will search. Let's see.
Okay. Let's see
When
what
was
you
the
find
Super
here.
Bowl?
Super Bowl was last Sunday. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It was February 13th, the day before
on
Valentine's
February
Day.
13th. I'll just show you. The Chargers tweeted something from Joshua Palmer. Happy birthday to Larry Roundtree. And that's it.
But how about like Monday, Tuesday,
It's
Wednesday?
Valentine's Day.
Okay. Yeah, but then like what about the day of the parade?
Okay,
The day of the
let
parade.
me get some
Draft.
What are you
Here's our
expecting
boy,
them to
Austin
do? 'Cause I think this is
Eckler.
the easier thing to ask. What are you expecting them to do?
Well, I listen, I don't see why. Let me pose it to you this way, Browner. Do you think the Lakers look at the Rams as their competition?
The Lakers?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Do you think the Dodgers look at the Rams as their competition?
No.
So why should the Chargers look at the Rams as their competition? Shouldn't the Chargers just say, "Hey, look, you're in LA, we're in LA, we share
No,
a stadium together. You're in the NFC, we're in the AFC.
because you're
You guys
fighting
had a
over
phenomenal
you're
year."
fighting over the same dollar. Like if I'm the Rams and the Chargers, we're fighting over the same dollar. Like no person theoretically is going to root for both teams and spend money on both teams unless you have an unlimited amount of disposable income. Like
Yeah,
I wouldn't
but
imagine if the Clippers ever won the title that the Lakers would be like, "Hey, congratulations, little bro, you finally
Right.
did it."
I would agree
I
with
don't think
that.
they
I
would
would
do that.
agree
So
with that.
why would the Chargers
Galaxy
do that?
did.
The LA Ga but why but here's why, Browner. You know why? Because in the end, it's just a classy thing to do.
No,
You know?
not when you're
It's
They
not.
I mean,
competing
that's
against
it.
somebody. No, it's not. No, it's
It's not
not.
classy? It's not?
No.
No, you're competing. You're competing for the same dollar, and the person who you're competing with literally just won 90 cents of the dollar.
Well, let me tell you something. You mentioned it, Alex. The Lakers did, the Dodgers did. You mentioned the LA Galaxy did. That's because they're
LAFC did.
also LAFC. These are all professional sports franchises in the LA marketplace, and every single one of them. By the way, when you say in competition, look, there's only so much. There's only so much money to go around. Do I want to put my money into the Lakers? Do I want to put it into the Dodgers, Angels, Padres, or Chargers, or Rams, or USC? Well, so listen, all these other professional sports franchises are like, hey, one of the teams in our city won the Super Bowl.
I
That's
didn't.
really cool.
I didn't see UCLA.
Congratulations.
I didn't see UCLA tweeting at USC. Congratulations on hiring. You got your guy at head
But
coach.
those are two rival schools
What do you think
and
this
rival
is?
football. This is
Yeah.
not a rivalry. This is
Come
not a
on,
rivalry. Come
Scott.
Come
on,
on,
dude.
guy.
The Chargers are not rivals of the Rams.
Scott, I
on,
think
guy.
you're. Come on.
Come
Come
on,
on,
guy.
man. It would just be a
Come on.
classy move. That's
You're-
all
No,
I'm
it
saying.
wouldn't.
I think you're.
Just be a classy move.
No.
No
Come on, guy.
class, man. You got
Come
no
on, guy.
class.
Come on. When the Angels won, didn't the Angels win the World Series?
Yeah, in
Did
2002.
the Dodgers say thanks to them? Congratulations.
I don't know.
I
I'd
don't.
have to
There
go
wasn't
back.
Twitter then.
Yeah, I'm not sure Twitter existed in
Okay,
2002.
okay. They need
Yeah.
to win more then. I wish they had a player that could elevate them to championship status, but never mind. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
go ahead.
Mm-hmm. You mean like Justin Fields?
Oh, we going.
Oh yeah.
We going.
All right.
We
All
going.
right. So let me get back to this then. So explain then, Alex. So if you go back to the beginning of the story, Stafford is on the stage. He's drunk. We all saw it and heard it. He sees this photographer, this young lady, Kelly Smiley, who's got some San Diego State connections. He sees her fall off the stage. He's like, oh my God.
I'm gonna flee the
And
country.
like typical drunk guys, like, I can't help. I'm going the other direction. He goes to leave. The internet blows up criticizing him. How dare he not help her? Especially now you find out that she has a broken spine.
Ugh.
And then you think that Matthew Stafford and the Rams come to the rescue. They do the right thing, if you will, which is, hey, we're really rich. We make a lot of money. Matthew Stafford made $25 million this year, made, $300,000 for winning the Super Bowl in the playoff run. Here's this photographer, falls off the stage, breaks her back and breaks her camera. Hey, look, what's 50 grand, 100 grand going to mean to us? So we're going to pay for it because Matthew looks like an idiot and everybody's killing him over this whole thing. But you said there's more to the story today. What else is there to the story?
I'm trying to say this not as bluntly as people have put it. Turns out, she a racist?
What?
She erased what? What did she erase?
She
With
erased what?
Is
Was
she a-
like a pencil?
Is she
Is she erased?
Oh, she
something?
erased. I thought you said she was racist.
Oh,
I
I,
did
thought you said
say.
she.
What?
I thought you said she erased it, and I'm like, wait, so she took like an eraser and she erased something?
So as we've seen so many times before, when
Oh.
random people go viral, what's the first thing people do?
Check
They
their
go
history.
check their history on social media.
No.
So what happened?
She does or did what you've been wanting to do, Scott.
What's
Dropping
that?
M bombs?
Dropping the N bombs
No,
I don't
get
wanna
that
drop
money
N-bombs.
back.
and over and over and
No.
over and
I don't want to
over.
drop N bombs. I just want everybody else to stop dropping N bombs.
I'm gonna put it on the screen because somebody blacked them out for me. But
Okay.
No way.
very freely and very bluntly, many a times has she
Wow.
dropped.
Now I'm mad. N word. Ha 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 ha. The swagless life. N word. You just want to F.
Yeah.
N word. You can text me.
Yeah.
But my N-word, you were doing so good.
Yeah.
2013, 2014.
More. There's more. There's
Oh,
more.
Oh, my
man.
Yeah,
Now
there's
we're getting
more.
into 2014. Always my little N-word. Almost just got shot in the ghetto because so-and-so wanted to F with an N-word.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was the one right there. You're done.
Here's
You're
one.
done.
N-word be grabbing anybody. Here's another one. Remember when they yelled effing
Yeah, I can't even say that
B-A-N-word
one. Yep.
at Munger, car, N-word, you just want, I mean, is
And
this
then
girl out of her
also,
mind?
Oh,
she went in on Asian people.
LOL at these effing Asian people screaming their Chinese language in the library. One, by the way, somebody
Yeah,
needs to teach
I
her.
know.
We're in American, not we
Yeah.
are Americans or we're in America. We're in American. And two, STFU, this is a library.
Well,
Yeah.
Kelly, it was fun for a day.
And not only that,
It gets
today,
worse?
well, no, I think that's about it. But it got so bad for her. The account doesn't exist anymore.
Oh my God. She got rid of her Twitter account?
Yep.
No.
Oh man. Now let me ask you guys a question.
Ugh.
If you're the Rams and you're Matthew Stafford, can you rescind?
No.
Hey, look.
Yes,
hey,
you can.
You know what? Look, we felt really bad.
Yeah.
She fell backwards. She got hurt. She broke her equipment. I walked away. Everybody gave me a hard time. So I had to do the right thing, which had nothing to do with me. If I'm Matthew Stafford, I'm like, look, her falling off the stage had nothing to do with me. The only reason I'm involved in this story is because you guys all saw me wasted go, oh my God, I'm going this direction. If nobody shoots video of me saying that, I got nothing to do with this story at all. But is there any way that now that she has had all these tweets that use the N-word or have negative things to say about Asian people, is there any way that Stafford and the Rams can say this? We're terribly sorry she fell and got hurt, but we cannot support this sort of dialogue. So you know what? You got $48,000 from a GoFundMe. Niners put up $500. Pat McAfee put up $5,000.
Really want that back.
Yeah, take your 48 grand. We're out on this thing. We don't support racist dialogue like that. So sorry your back got hurt. Sorry you're rocking that turtle suit. Sorry about your busted lens on your camera. But the things you said on social media that we now all dug up from 10 years ago, can't support you. Sorry.
I just think that they're doing it because they're probably liable. So I think they're going to still pay those off just to, you don't want it. They can get sued for this too.
No, but here's the thing: there's two fronts to address what you're saying about liability. Yes, but if you get a good lawyer, you can literally just say it's not our fault. She's clumsy. One, it was over. So why was she even on the stage to begin with when the proceedings were over? Everyone was exiting. That's one thing. Then she can say, well, if Stafford's asked me to take a picture, so now it's their issue. That's one thing.
Attorney Browner now. He knows the law.
I know. Yeah, doctor.
Wow,
I think
dude.
so far I'm poking holes in all your arguments. Keep going.
Sure, yeah.
Two, this was 2013, 2014. So we're going to assume she was what, 14, maybe 13 at the time? She was
No. I mean, let's see.
How old do you
This is
think this woman
2020.
is? She can't be no more than 26.
Why not?
Because she graduated from San Diego State, allegedly
what
because
year?
of the camera.
Yeah, but what year?
I mean, I said she did look 50 the other day, but I'm hoping she's not actually 50. Because if you break your back at 50, you might as well get a wheelchair.
Well, hey, easy.
See you in Walmart.
Easy, will you?
My bad.
So look, here's the thing. She might be, let's say she graduated San Diego State 5 years ago.
So that would make her
let's say she's 27, and let's say these tweets came out 10 years ago when she was a teenager.
Right. At 17, so let me be very clear. If she wrote these things from 13 to 16, you can talk me out of that she's learned her lesson and these were all gross things to say. She's grown, she's matured, she's a different person. You can get me with that if these were written between 13 and 16, because at that point you don't really know anything. You're more a product of your environment. If she's hanging around these kind of people, if she's listening to certain types of music, she can be influenced because of her age, and so she's out tweeting these things that she thinks no one will ever see. And so therefore, her typing these things, they aren't as offensive as they are
She
today.
graduated in 2018.
She graduated in 18, so it's 4 years ago. So she's 26 years old. So 26, call it. And these tweets were in 13 and 14. So she's 26. So yeah, she's 16, 17-ish.
Yeah.
So for me,
What are we fighting about right now? What are we?
We're not really fighting about
Oh,
anything.
what are we
The question is, should the Staffords and the Rams continue to
Rescind
pay
their money?
for? Yeah, because because somebody went back 7, 8 years ago and dug up her use of the N-word.
I would say that I don't think Matthew Stafford really cares about this. Like you said, where is he right now, Scott?
I don't know. He's
Out
probably
the
in Cabo.
country.
Yeah, he's out of the
Yeah,
country
he don't
according to
give a
Kevin
damn about
Demoff.
this.
Yeah.
got
I
the
think this
money
is gonna.
already.
Here's what you do. Nothing.
Right.
You don't mention it. You don't acknowledge it. You don't do anything. Nothing.
Keep it moving.
There will be another racist next week.
Yep, keep it moving. Well,
Keep
let
it
Tucker
moving.
Carlson air tonight, and it'll all be under a bridge under the water.
Let me
Water
ask
under the
everybody a
bridge.
question.
This app, man, Twitter is like the worst thing, best thing
Right.
that ever happened to
Delete
society.
all your tweets. Delete all your tweets.
I
anything
legit
past
have
5 years
like
ago.
I legit have not recently have gone. I was like, did I ever do anything? I just searched every word that could be bad, just because I was like, did I ever? I didn't, but I was like, how do you not do that? Like, if you're somebody, you should probably do that.
But here's the other thing. And look, I got it. If you're 16, 17, 18, and Browner, your points are well made. You know, it's like you're listening to a certain song, you love a particular artist,
Right.
you hear that word over and over again, you get desensitized, you think it's okay to use because it's in your favorite song or your favorite movie. But honestly, like, you would just think that somebody would be smarter than to be a white person. I don't care if it was 8 years ago. I don't care if it was pre-George Floyd. You do not put that word out there on social media. I remember a true story. One of my really close friends, this is probably 10, 15 years ago. And again, the N word back then, especially with the A at the end of it, more people used it back then that now would never touch it, right? And I remember him one time sending me a text saying, "Hey, let's make sure we never use that word in text messages ever." You know, like, we would never want it to ever get out there that you said this or I said this. So to put it on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram to publish that word.
But at the time, okay, we're talking about a photographer who no one knew. So at the time, she probably had like 100 followers, and 60 of them didn't even interact with her. 40 were probably bots. So she probably had like 8 or 10 people who she actually talked to on Twitter who actually replied to her. Like, those messages that she was doing, they didn't have a lot of likes. They didn't have a lot of retweets. So she was probably dropping N-bombs into a void. But at the same time, things could come back on you, and you should be more aware. I give kids of that age, more aptly white kids of that age, a little more leeway because they're ignorant. They're ignorant to what the word means. They're ignorant to what the culture means and how it hurts people because they hear it in music. They see it in movies. And so they think it's acceptable. They think it's cool to say it back and forth amongst their friends, not really understanding how that could come back and that could hurt you via Twitter or just via people coming back and telling you how that made them feel.
But she went from one day being like everybody was sympathetic towards her. Oh my God, this poor girl. She fell off the stage. She broke her spine. Please, we need to raise money for her medical expenses and her camera. And pretty much 2 days later,
she's David Duke.
Right, the cancel culture is coming for her, you know.
Her Instagram is private now.
Oh yeah. Wonder if she'll let us follow her.
Oh my God.
It's over now. It's over for her. That's it.
This is so.
The ride was quick. Well, they say be careful of that 15 minutes of fame, man.
Dude, I had no idea. When Alex said to me, he goes, "You're going to have to hear the rest of the story." I'm like, "Wait, there's more?"
What'd you guys think it was? What'd you guys think it was?
Sick worse.
I thought, I thought, uh-oh, she's really, really hurt.
Yeah.
She's paralyzed.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
I thought
no, she
something-
went on the GoFundMe. The guy wrote a little update yesterday.
Yeah.
And it said that she left the hospital and she's just at home now, and that they paused the fundraiser because obviously they got all the Rams money, but that's it. Like, even that's basically closed down now.
Wow.
Woo, buddy, man.
All right. Hey, hold on.
Never want to be the main character on Twitter. You never want to be the main character.
I've been the main character. I've been a supporting actor once.
Dude, I know this. I've never used words like that. Like, so when you talk about going back and deleting and cleaning things up, I would never. And so I don't feel like I need to worry about that. Hey, listen, coming up, I want to talk about Kevin O'Connell, San Diego kid, getting his first head coaching job in the NFL, which is truly amazing. We'll get into it shortly. And I also want to remind you, dude, Alex, today I'm going to iThrive. You were there earlier in the week. You got your intravenous bag of vitamins. I'm not like hungover today, although I did drink last night. So it all worked out perfectly for me. I'm going in, and I'm going in for two things today. First, I want the IV bag of vitamins, which I'm going to get with Dr. Maxey. And the second thing I want is an NAD injection, because I was telling you last night, Dr. Sonny came and showed up to stop by for a drink. And he said that he was in iThrive yesterday and got NAD because he'd been traveling. And he was like, boom, it's like instant energy. You just feel it immediately. So I'm going in for an NAD, and I'm going in for IV therapy. And then hopefully, as Dr. Maxey mentioned, within the next week or two, we're going to start having these IV lounges. And I know a lot of people have been hitting me up saying, when are we going to do this? So ithrivemd.com/Kaplan, 858-240-1497, 858-240-1497. And Fat Tony told me he's coming to crash my IV therapy session today. So maybe he'll sit there with me and get one as well. All right, coming up, Kevin O'Connell becomes an NFL head coach.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
We are very proud to announce that the Mightier 1090 is SoCal's newest ESPN affiliate. Introducing the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. One of the largest radio stations in North America just got bigger and better. Joining forces with the worldwide leader of sports, ESPN. The Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
It doesn't matter what your background is and where you come from. If you have dreams and you have goals, and that's all that really matters.
I owe a lot to Charlie.
When you black, it's not a movement, it's a lifestyle. This is who we are.
The Rising, proudly brought to you by Subaru of El Cajon, an extraordinary experience for everyone. We were the first. We carry the fire that began civilizations, and then we built them. We strengthened a nation, and then we fought for it. We are scientists, poets, and lawmakers. We are artists, leaders, and warriors. And as we gaze toward tomorrow, we leave an indelible mark on the past. Black History Month on Your View is proudly brought to you by Subaru of El Cajon, an extraordinary experience for everyone.
Main streets are the heart of our communities, where we connect with our neighbors, support local businesses, and share new adventures. Main Street Living celebrates all of this, bringing you uplifting stories with guests from across the country and your community. Main Street Living covers what's important to you today, from our street to your street. Join Cheryl, Danielle, and Quincy for Main Street Living, Mondays at 9 on Your View.
I'm Lex Gillette, 5-time Paralympic medalist, 4-time world champion, and world record holder in the long jump for totally blind athletes. Running and jumping without your eyesight is one of the most incredible feelings out there. When I leave the ground though, to jump and soar through the air and eventually land in the sand, that is my way of defying gravity.
Big breath, get tight.
Celebrating Black history is very important, but I think that it certainly extends beyond just these 28 days. We need to get to a space where we are making this country a better space to live in. At the end of the day, it's not our eyes that ultimately determine success. It's our ability to see that vision, to develop that plan, connect with the right people, and do everything in your power to bring that vision into fruition.
Prospect Home Finance is a mortgage company. We specialize in residential refinances and home purchases. So Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, if you're going out looking for a pre-approval to buy a new home, meet with the realtor, we would help you facilitate that. and walk you through the process from A to Z. We specialize in getting homeowners loans for their dream home, but we also do more than that. So today we came down to Ocean Beach, partnered up with Surfrider, and had some team members come down here from Prospect, all pitched together, and had quite a bit of trash to clean up.
It's really heartening to see people come out and really care for the waterways.
It was great getting out here, and we're going to do it again soon. We're always looking for ways to give back to the community of San Diego. So if you have any ideas or need any help or support in any way, visit us at homefinance.com.
1090 just got bigger and better. Please join us in welcoming SoCal's newest ESPN affiliate, the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. NFL, MLB, NBA, live games, the best sports talk programming with the largest signal in all of California. The mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Explore the Southwest lifestyle, the culture, the music, the food, y más. Join hosts J.R. Cardenas and Vanessa Ramirez on Su Vida.
Well, the holidays are well behind us.
And unfortunately, I'm still carrying those Christmas cookies, Vanessa.
That means it's time for this team to get in shape on the next Su Vida.
Yeah, you should have made me those tamales.
Watch Su Vida, Sunday night at 7 on YourView and YourView.com.
When doors open for kids, they change lives. For over 75 years, the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater San Diego has been opening its doors to provide a safe place for kids whenever they are out of school. A place with caring mentors and opportunities to focus on academic success, healthy lifestyles, and character building. At the club, we do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid that walks through our doors by inspiring, empowering, and changing lives.
We were the first. We carry the fire that began civilizations, and then we built them. We strengthened a nation, and then we fought for it. We are scientists, poets, and lawmakers. We are artists, leaders, and warriors. And as we gaze toward tomorrow, we leave an indelible mark on the past. Black History Month on Your View is proudly brought to you by Subaru of El Cajon, an extraordinary experience for everyone.
Kaplan and Crew Tonight presents Let's Talk Hookup.
Hi, this is Pete Gray with this week's Fish Report, and we actually have some stuff to talk about this week with Catalina Island kicking out some white sea bass. There's a little squid around, and why not do a Catalina combo? Little lobster fishing and white sea bass fishing. You can do that until mid-March there when the lobster season ends. There's some good rock cod fishing down south of the border here out of San Diego. So that's still going on until rockfish season opens here in California waters on March 1st. And also the PCS shows goes on today, tomorrow, and Sunday up at the Orange County Fairgrounds. And then Fred Hall show starts at the beginning of March. So you want to be sure to check out all the shows this year. I just returned from a trip down to Lake El Salto, Mexico. We had okay fishing, not great, but we had a great time. Fish up to 10 pounds at Billy Chapman Seniors Resort. And we'll talk about that and more this weekend on Let's Talk Hookup. So be sure to tune in on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio and the Let's Talk Hookup app.
Let's Talk Hookup airs on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, Saturday and Sunday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Prospect Home Finance, San Diego's mortgage leader, is celebrating 15 years of happy clients. HomeFinance.com is the go-to resource online or on your mobile device to discover your best home loan options.
Hi, I'm Jason Bondrak, CEO at Prospect Home Finance. I want to say thank you to all of our clients, both past and future. As part of our 15-year anniversary, we'll close your home loan in 15 business days.
Start your easy home finance process today at HomeFinance.com.
My intention is to box to win a clean fight.
Convicted for draft evasion, threatened with imprisonment, Muhammad Ali is banned from fighting in all 50 states. But in Atlanta, Georgia, in October of 1970, that all changed. Matched against the top contender for the boxing crown, the greatest is back.
Ali's comeback, proudly brought to you by Subaru of El Cajon.
Welcome back. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew Show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, John Browner, and Alex Padilla.
All right, great friends. It is a Friday afternoon here on Kaplan and Crew with Grande and the Brown Man. By the way, I thought it was very funny yesterday DeMarco Farr came on the podcast yesterday for the first time. He's a Super Bowl champion with the Rams. He's on the sidelines of the Rams radio broadcast. And Alex, you can tell the story, I'm sure, but we've tried to get DeMarco on the show literally for years. Not because it's like, he's the A-list of all A-listers. Just whenever we were talking about the Rams, we're like, who are we going to talk to? And we would try and get DeMarco on the show, and he was a complete pain in the ass to try and get a hold of, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah. But now that I've got this relationship with him working up in LA, now he's more accommodating. And so I thought it was really funny yesterday. He's like, so who's Grande and who's the brown man? Not exactly sure who's who here. And you actually started saying something, Alex, like, well, I am Mexican, even though you would think that he could figure out which one's Grande and which one's the brown man.
Well, Browner looks tall on screen, and Grande could be tall.
True.
That is true.
But he was wrong. He had
Brown is normally associated with Hispanics. So
yeah,
I could see why he was confused.
Yeah. Well, that was a fun interview also yesterday. He was great too, DeMarco Farr. So look, let me say this. I think there's a really interesting story that we should talk about today because it's super hyper local, and that is Kevin O'Connell. I mean, it's just an incredible thing. I look at a kid like Nathaniel Hackett becomes the head coach of the Denver Broncos, and nobody here knows or cares Nathaniel Hackett, but I do. Like, I've known Nathaniel Hackett since he's about 8 years old. And I'm like, oh my God. First of all, he's now in his early 40s. And secondly, he's a head coach in the NFL. This guy, and at least with Kevin O'Connell, you're like, look, Kevin O'Connell had a distinguished playing career. I mean, he was a really great quarterback in high school. He had a really excellent career at San Diego State. He was a second-round draft choice by Bill Belichick. He backed up Tom Brady for a year or two. I think it was just a year. Bounced around the NFL, Detroit, I think, the New York Jets for a little while. Actually, even at one point, was an emergency quarterback with the Chargers. So he had a playing career. It didn't turn out to be quite the way he'd hoped, of course. So he had a playing career to speak of, and then got himself into private quarterback coaching, which then turned into working inside of an organization, was the quarterback coach for Johnny Manziel and the Cleveland Browns, and worked his way up to offensive coordinator. And now, because he was working on the Sean McVay staff, and I say it like that, not to say that Kevin O'Connell's not qualified, but he didn't call the plays. I mean, that's always been the knock on Eric Bieniemy. And Kevin O'Connell wasn't calling the plays. Sean McVay was, but head coach now of your Grande.
Yes.
Your Minnesota Vikings. What do you think about this announcement yesterday of Kevin O'Connell? It's not like it was a big secret.
Yeah, I'm like two things can be true for me. I could be A, disappointed, and B, happy for Kevin O'Connell at the same time. And that's kind of where I'm at. Only because Jim Harbaugh was in the building, ready for the job. And to me, that's a home run hire. I think you would have, look, you can ask Browner. He's in the division as a fan. I think that instills a little bit of fear, or worry of the Vikings. I think now you're starting over, basically. Yeah, you have a good roster, good enough with a bunch of Pro Bowlers and All Pros. But you never really know when someone turns from a coordinator to a head coach. You never know. But congrats to Kevin. It's awesome. It's kind of surreal, to be honest with you. Personally, kind of knowing the head coach of your favorite football team. So I will.
Right. He became the head coach of your team. Yeah. Kevin O'Connell used to come into our 1090 studios back in the day when there was a 1090 studio. Kevin O'Connell used to come in and sit down and co-host shows. He was like, hey, this is Kevin, the former San Diego State quarterback. That's why we brought him in, get his opinion on things. Hey, he played for the Chargers for a little while. So Kevin O'Connell, kind of the same way when I think about some of these young kids like Kirk Morrison, for example. Kirk Morrison, I feel like and I say we, I mean 1090, me, Darren, Billy Ray, that group of guys. Like, we raised some of these kids. They wanted to get into media when they were at San Diego State. We would put them on the air all the time. They got done. We would bring them back as experts. When they were playing in the NFL, we would talk to them all the time. Guys like Kirk Morrison, Tony Gwynn Jr., Kevin O'Connell. These were young kids that I say we raised them. I'm not trying to sound like a dick. I'm just saying that they were little kids and they wanted to get into media And that's how they got in, is coming on as guests with us, coming on as guests with Darren. And now, dude, Kevin O'Connell, we didn't know this back then. We thought he might get into media. Kevin O'Connell's a head coach in the NFL of your team.
My team. And what have I always said about NFL coaches nowadays? I want them to be offensive minded. I want them to be, strictly offense, because that's the key to NFL. And yesterday he said, I'm calling plays. I will be the play caller. I'm like, good. Because I could blame everything on one person.
Yeah. This
Look,
is
man,
because
I'm a Viking
I
fan.
gotta tell y'all
I'm a
something right
Viking
now.
fan. So I know how this goes.
Mhm.
Unfortunately for Kevin, I know how this goes. He'll be there minimum 6 years. Congratulations, because the Wilfs don't fire people. It takes a long time for them to fire people.
Which is good.
It's good. He will have success. But I don't see that. I mean, because I'm just a pessimist. I don't see the Vikings ever winning a Super Bowl. It's nothing against Kevin. I think he's going to be better than Zimmer, because Zimmer, like that dude.
Listen, let me tell you something. I'm so happy about this. See, y'all like Kevin O'Connell. I never met the guy. Y'all got a relationship with him. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth of what I think from a Chicago Bear fan standpoint.
Okay.
I'm so glad they didn't hire Jim Harbaugh. That was the best thing that could have happened in this division. It's wide open. Because I don't think Matt LaFleur can coach. I really don't. I think Aaron Rodgers is great in the regular season. So when he kicks our butt all year, that's completely different. I don't know if Matt Eberflus can coach, but guess what? I know he's just as good as Kevin O'Connell. So we got a shot. I know both of those two dudes are better than the Lions coach because he's an idiot. So at worst,
And the Packers are doing everything they can to keep Aaron Rodgers. They just hired some 7-year-old dude out of retirement to be their quarterback's coach because Aaron has a good relationship with him.
Right.
It's like,
So
dude,
that ship is
Who's
sinking.
that? I wish I knew who that was. I didn't hear about it. Oh, really?
Yeah.
That ship is sinking. So
Yeah.
that ain't really got that long. So by
Even
the
if
time,
Rodgers goes back, I think it's one more. You know?
right. If. So that was the best news for me because Jim Harbaugh would have been a 10-year run of a guy who can coach at this level and can be competitive. I think Kirk Cousins is a handful. I think Justin Jefferson, talented, is a handful. I don't know much about Dalvin Cook, but I know he be getting in trouble off the field, as a lot of Vikings do. That defense is great, but them some hard dudes to manage, and you're going to give that to a 30-year-old what? Have fun.
You want to know something? You want to know something, though?
Have fun.
I'm going to tell you guys right now. I'm going to make my call. Here goes. And this is going to piss both of you guys off. Vikings fan, Bears fan. Here goes. Aaron Rodgers will return to the Packers. Now, I know that's not a Brown fax, but it's a I don't even know if it's a hot take. Aaron Rodgers will return to Green Bay, and I'll explain why. Because while you're saying that the best thing that happened to your division is that Jim Harbaugh didn't take the Vikings job, the worst thing that happened in that division is Aaron Rodgers and his fiance split up.
I agree with that too.
That's why they split up. That's my take.
Yeah, she didn't want to live there.
She don't want to live there no more. I'm not going
so,
back to Green Bay.
So, and the word was last year, she's from Boulder, Colorado, which is why he wanted to go to the Denver Broncos. He wants out of Green Bay, small town America, to go to a sizable market and to accommodate his fiance. Hey, I'm going to force my way out of Green Bay. We'll go to Denver, which is where you want to be, and I'll be the quarterback of the Broncos. And she thinks this is the coolest thing ever. Not only am I dating superstar quarterback, but I'm also going to go home and he's going to be the quarterback of my team. And when he wasn't able to do that last year, and she realized, I don't want to be up in Green Bay. He spends too much time in this football world that he's in, especially up there. If it's Denver, it's fine. That's where I like to live. If it's Green Bay, this sucks. And so them breaking up indicates to me that Aaron Rodgers now no longer has to accommodate his girlfriend or fiance. Aaron Rodgers is going back to the Green Bay Packers.
What if this entire thing was her fault? Like
What thing?
like this all these issues that he had last year. What if it was her fault? What if she's the one who caused all this?
Well, I don't know if I'd call it her fault, but she had an influence on Rodgers, which is why he was staying away from the team and he's vacationing and he's hanging out with Hollywood
She's
stars.
also one of those non-vax people. She ruined an entire movie set because of it.
What is her name?
Shailene Woodley.
What is it?
Shailene Woodley.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know her, but I had this conversation the other day with my boy Sedano up in LA. And he was like, dude, she's so much more famous than he is. And I'm like,
what?
No.
Get out of here.
I'm like,
she
dude.
was in that Pretty Little Liars show.
But is she like super hyper famous? Like Aaron Rodgers is one of the most famous NFL football players in the NFL, and that makes him one of the most famous athletes in the
I
world.
would say Olivia Munn's more famous than she was.
I would say she's more famous than Aaron Rodgers in the country.
Olivia Munn?
No, Shailene Woodley.
Oh, she is. You feel the same way?
Ooh,
I think
don't.
that because we are sports fans, so in our life, Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers is a big person. But in
Mhm.
the country, athletes are
Mhm.
not as famous as
Okay,
we
what has
think
she
they
been
are.
in?
Like the most famous athlete on Twitter is LeBron James.
Mhm.
Compare that to like Kim Kardashian, and it's like minuscule the amount of
What
followers.
has she been in though? Give me something she been in. Big Little Liars. Okay, she wasn't the main person in that. She was
She
in
had her own franchise. I forget the name of them.
the Maze Runner franchise. That was terrible. It flopped. I saw all 3 films. It flopped.
I don't know. I don't know what she's in because I don't know her name. Like
Well,
when
we
you
don't
say,
expect for you to know her name. You don't.
I know
you
when
don't
you
even go to
when you
movies.
say her
Let's
name,
see.
I have no idea who she is.
IMDb, Shailene Woodley.
Mhm.
Why mess around when you go straight to it? The Fault in Our Stars. I remember that movie.
Don't.
Okay.
The Divergent series.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was.
Big Little Lies.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you're saying that what's her name? Cheyenne Woodley?
Shailene Woodley.
Shailene Woodley. If you walk up to 100 people on the street and say, you know who Shailene Woodley is?
Hold the picture of
If
each
you
of them
showed a
up.
picture of Shailene Woodley and you
Mhm.
showed a picture of Aaron Rodgers
Mhm.
and you're like, who's who? More
Mhm.
people would know Shailene Woodley than Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, I put
Wow.
$10 on that.
Aaron
me
Rodgers
too.
wears a helmet for a living. You guys are
I'll
forgetting
I'll
this.
put 10.
Yeah, but what about all of his
State
Allstate
Farm
commercials?
commercials. What?
Oh, State
What
Farm,
commercials?
yeah.
People don't know who that is. They're like, oh, this is a random dude.
No, they do. No, they know who he is.
I mean, there's no way of proving this.
I'd put a good $10 on that.
Is she more famous than Peyton Manning?
No.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is probably the most famous NFL player in terms of television commercials. Him and Patrick Mahomes.
That's true. I just think this guy, Alex, he's tripping right now.
All right, well, let's do this.
Listen, I'm not going to have Aaron Rodgers win anything when it comes to me, okay?
See what he's doing?
Okay. All right, well, let's get back to the story then. The story was about Kevin O'Connell. That's the story I want to get back to because Kevin O'Connell had a press conference yesterday, and I want to see how that all went down. And for those of you that are like us and you're fans of and
Whole bunch of
supporters
nothing.
and you're friends with Kevin O'Connell, you're going to want to see this stuff too. So hold on. I'm going to get to these Kevin O'Connell sound bites in 1 second. A reminder for everybody. If you're looking to buy a house, if you're looking to sell a house, if you're looking to refinance your house, if you have questions about things like solar panels, like, hey, I'm thinking about leasing solar energy. What does that have to do with my home mortgage, my loan? Well, you don't know this. I certainly didn't know it. Gary brought it up a couple of weeks ago. If you have a lease on solar energy and you're trying to refinance, you may have to pay off the lease to the solar before you can refinance. Listen, it's confusing for me too, but he brought up all this interesting stuff a couple of weeks ago. And I got feedback from people going, I had no idea because I was looking into solar right now. These are the kinds of things that if you have questions about anything related to real estate, you got a guy. We got a guy. He's your guy. Our guy's your guy. He's the guy from the Great Friends. That's Gary Cooper, Koopa Loop, 858-376-1299, 858-376-1299. Any questions about anything having to do with real estate, you call Gary Cooper. He'll either be able to say, hey, this is what you should do and I can help you, or this is what you should do and I can't help you, or you shouldn't do anything. And even though I could do a deal for you and make a couple bucks, I'm not going to do that to you. Great guy, great team, and can help you out a lot like he did Alex last year, going from being a renter to an owner of his place down in North Park. 858-376-1299 for our guy, Gary Cooper. All right, Grande, can we see and hear some of the Kevin O'Connell press conference yesterday?
Yes.
To Vikings fans, I just want to let you know you'll get everything I absolutely have on an every single day basis. Knowing how hard it is to win in this league and having come from an organization where we were just able to accomplish the ultimate goal in winning a Super Bowl, I know what it takes. I've seen it. I've experienced it. And I know how hard it can be, but I know if you've got the right kind of people with you, the right ownership, the right leadership structure with you, and I know we have the right kind of players in this building already, we can accomplish a lot of really special things.
Wow.
Damn right.
That is so flat and
How old is
boring
he?
and red. Stop
Dude,
it.
how
The
old
only
is
thing
he?
he said in that
16?
entire speech was true.
What's
that
that?
the ownership group is the right ownership group. I like the Vikings ownership group. They stick with
Why?
their decisions and they'll spend money. So I'll give them that.
Mhm.
Those all you want from an ownership group is that they stick with their head coach because I believe in continuity, and they'll cut the checks, which they pay Kirk Cousins, so they'll do that.
Mhm.
But other than that, no. I like this guy. We're gonna beat him.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
can't
'cause-
even pick out Matt Eberflus out of a lineup, dude.
Joe
Right.
can't.
No.
Joe can't.
And he got the better quarterback,
Who?
Kevin O'Connell.
What are you smoking? Stop.
And he talked about that.
Stop it.
Well, I know he's under contract, and I'm excited to coach him. We've already started
That's a
thinking
glowing
about how we're going to
endorsement.
build those systems for him and our other quarterbacks, and really our, the tremendous skill group we have, our guys up front. It takes all 11 to move the football on offense, to run it, to throw it, to score points in the red zone. But I'm anticipating Kirk being a part of what we do.
That's
Now-
glowing.
Glowing review.
Wow.
Also, the only thing I noticed about this entire press conference,
Mhm.
I don't know if you guys caught this. It was 8 degrees in Minneapolis.
Oy.
8. I'm complaining about it being 50
Single
in the
digit.
mornings.
The number of Kirk Cousins' jersey. 8.
8.
Mhm.
No thanks.
You mentioned that Kevin O'Connell said, and I don't know if we have the audio to go with this, but he said he's going to call plays. I think that's really interesting because here's what's happening now in the NFL. You're hiring a bunch of guys who are not play callers, but they have the title of offensive coordinator. So when they become a head coach, if you're Kevin O'Connell, you're looking at Sean McVay and you're going, he was the head coach, he called the plays. When I look at a guy like Kevin Stefanski in Cleveland, he left your Vikings, Alex, went to the Browns, and he's like, "Hey, I'm calling the plays. I'm driving this bus." You know.
Well, he was calling plays in Minnesota.
I understand. What I'm saying though is that you're finding guys like an Eric Bieniemy who is not calling the plays, has the title of offensive coordinator, and if and when he ever becomes a head coach, he wants to do what he wasn't able to do. Versus a guy who is like, "Hey, you know what? I'm delegating this. You call the plays. I'm relying on you to do." But these coaches, they want all the responsibility. They want all the control.
Matt Nagy came to the Chicago Bears much in similar fashion as Kevin O'Connell, older, but had been under a great coach, had been under success, and people thought that he was going to be a great young play caller. We see how that worked out. Like if you guys know him better than I do, the only thing that I would hope that he does have, and this is just completely neutral, is the ability to be flexible within decision making. That's it. If he's already like, I'm calling plays, I like the sound of that. Call him, Playboy. Call him.
Yeah, we have a head coach who's calling plays who hasn't called plays before, and our defensive coordinator was the defensive coordinator for the Broncos the last couple of years, but he hasn't been calling plays because that was Vic Fangio's job. It's gonna go pretty swell.
Sounds great to me. They'll be unpredictable for 3 weeks.
I mean, here's the thing. Here really is the thing. If Aaron Rodgers goes back to Green Bay, none of this matters.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Because they'll win the division and they'll get knocked out in the playoffs.
And when I say we, it's me and the Vikings and the Bears. We'll win the division once every 3 or 4 years. We'll alternate, you know?
It's about that time.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, it's really a battle for second.
And the Packers are out of money. They're out of money. They got to sign Devontae Adams. They got to sign a couple people. This is the window. This is the window for one of us to get it. And I like our chances better than I like yours.
The window is coming if Rodgers A, leaves, or B, this is his last year. The window is the next 5 years. Yeah. It's when Rodgers is done, that's when we can take over. By the way, exactly the same thing that happened when Tom Brady left, the Patriots. That opened the door for emerging teams like Buffalo,
the Bills.
Right? In particular Buffalo.
See, I like our chances significantly better because of the current status of the NFL. And I've said this a million times. I'll say it again. Browner's team hired a defensive coordinator with a second-year quarterback. Who's going to develop that quarterback? It ain't the head coach.
Oh, we got a team of people. A team of people.
I prefer hands-on approach, veteran quarterback, up-and-coming quarterback himself as head coach. I like our situation better. Even if I didn't know who the hell Kevin O'Connell was, I like our situation much better because you're going to need a massive jump from Justin Fields to be even relevant, and I don't think that's coming.
But do you trust Kirk Cousins?
I trust him to be good enough to make the playoffs. He's not a Super Bowl quarterback. He's just not.
Well, he's not yet.
He's a Jimmy Garoppolo. We can take you some places.
He doesn't have any. Jimmy Garoppolo don't have anywhere near the passing savvy stats.
No, of course not. What I'm saying is in the moment when you need them.
He'll give it back.
Right.
Well,
Until proven otherwise. Like
He'll
Stafford
give it
was
back.
the guy.
Stafford.
Stafford was
Don't
the
let
guy.
the game be at night.
No,
Don't let the
that's
game be
it.
at night either.
No, Stafford's the comp, though, I think.
Right.
I think Stafford is more the comp than Garoppolo.
Kirk Cousins got Hall of Fame numbers, dude. Like the guy throws 25 touchdowns minimum every single season and 4,300 yards every single season. Like if you watch the games,
Every year he's been on the Vikings, he's had a number 1 level receiver and he's had a number 1 level running back. So this is not like Matt Stafford at all.
Nothing's going to change.
Well, but again, like Stafford is in big time numbers, doesn't have the wins to show for it.
Oh,
now,
okay, yeah,
in
that's
Stafford's case, I mean, it was obviously a lot worse.
Yes.
You know, I mean, the Vikings are not considered a laughing stock like the Lions are. All right, look, stick around. A lot more to get to.
Good luck, Kevin.
Yeah, good luck, Kevin O'Connell. We need to get him on the show. Hey, coming up, our man Brian Buckley from HVGC is going to stop by on a Friday afternoon. Stick around, everybody. This is Kaplan and Crew.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Dominating the SoCal radio airwaves for over 20 years. Join Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner for Kaplan and Crew every Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. only on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the mightier1090.com.
If you love animals, Animal Zone is for you. From rescues to animal experts, Animal Zone is fun for the whole family. Watch Animal Zone right here on Your View, Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. And visit animalzone.org to learn more about the show.
We were the first. We carry the fire that began civilizations, and then we built them. We strengthened a nation, and then we fought for it. We are scientists, poets, and lawmakers. We are artists, leaders, and warriors. And as we gaze toward tomorrow, we leave an indelible mark on the past. Black History Month on Your View is proudly brought to you by Subaru of El Cajon, an extraordinary experience for everyone.
Prospect Home Finance, San Diego's mortgage leader, is celebrating 15 years of happy clients. HomeFinance.com is the go-to resource online or on your mobile device to discover your best home loan options.
Hi, I'm Jason Bondrak, CEO at Prospect Home Finance. I want to say thank you to all of our clients, both past and future. As part of our 15-year anniversary, we'll close your home loan in 15 business days.
Start your easy home finance process today at HomeFinance.com.
Kaplan and Crew Tonight presents Let's Talk Hookup.
Hi, this is Pete Gray with this week's Fish Report, and we actually have some stuff to talk about this week with Catalina Island kicking out some white sea bass. There's a little squid around, and why not do a Catalina combo? Little lobster fishing and white sea bass fishing. You can do that until mid-March there when the lobster season ends. There's some good rock cod fishing down south of the border here out of San Diego. So that's still going on until rockfish season opens here in California waters on March 1st. And also the PCS shows goes on today, tomorrow, and Sunday up at the Orange County Fairgrounds. And then Fred Hall show starts at the beginning of March. So you want to be sure to check out all the shows this year. I just returned from a trip down to Lake El Salto, Mexico. We had okay fishing, not great, but we had a great time. Fish up to 10 pounds at Billy Chapman Seniors Resort. And we'll talk about that and more this weekend on Let's Talk Hookup. So be sure to tune in on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio and the Let's Talk Hookup app.
Let's Talk Hookup airs on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, Saturday and Sunday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Listen to the Mike Greenberg Show, 7 to 9 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday. Greeny brings his unmatched depth of sports knowledge, fun, and entertainment back to ESPN on a daily basis. The mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the mightier1090.com.
Today, we proudly held the ribbon cutting ceremony for our new office in La Jolla, California. Here we are in the Merrill Lynch building, right in the middle of the village, and really, really happy to be part of this neighborhood. This is really special to Prospect in that it almost signifies the fact that we've grown up officially. We have survived the past 15 years by being very agile. We come to this one amazing location from 3 separate offices. So it's fantastic having everyone under one roof. This is going to do wonders in terms of streamlining our operations, being able to communicate with someone down the hall as opposed to someone who's several blocks away is going to be terrific. Our CEO, Jason Vondrack, he's a very humble person, but I know this day really, really means a lot to him in that he has led this company for 15 years. And he started this business out of a studio apartment. And look where we are now. That's huge. I think this new space signifies just endless possibilities for prospects. I mean, we're headquartered in La Jolla, but we do business all around the country. So our goal is to be licensed to offer home financing in all 50 states, and we're well on our way.
Prospect Home Finance. Fast, friendly, affordable.
I founded Driveway Auction after working in the automotive industry, becoming a dealer and questioning the process that puts consumers at a huge disadvantage when selling their cars.
The big difference between Driveway and the other services is that Driveway works for you. If you've ever tried to sell a car, you know that it's an awful process that makes you either go and meet strangers in parking lots to take test drives or sit at the dealership for hours and hours while they wear you down. Driveway eliminated all of that.
With Driveway Auction, we come to you, so we complete the 40-point vehicle inspection from the comfort and convenience of your own driveway.
We send an independent third-party inspector to take measurements of the car, take pictures of it, evaluate the condition.
We use that information to advocate for you, using our network of buyers to compete. And when they compete, you win.
They take over the whole process, and you don't have to do anything.
Our clients get more money and a better process with Driveway.
Everybody at Driveway made me feel so comfortable during the whole process. It was a great experience.
Prospect Home Finance is a mortgage company. We specialize in residential refinances and home purchases. So Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, if you're going out looking for a pre-approval to buy a new home, meet with the realtor, we would help you facilitate that and walk you through the process from A to Z. We specialize in getting homeowners loans for their dream home, but we also do more than that. So today we came down to Ocean Beach, partnered up with Surfrider, and had some team members come down here from Prospect, all pitched together, and had quite a bit of trash to clean up.
It's really heartening to see people come out and really care for the waterways.
It was great getting out here, and we're gonna do it again soon. We're always looking for ways to give back to the community of San Diego. So if you have any ideas or need any help or support in any way, visit us at homefinance.com.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Hi, my name is Giovanni, and this is my mural. What intrigued me most about this project is that I realized there was not a lot of black street artists, and there was not a lot of black art on walls. So that's what intrigues me the most, is that this is a project that's putting up multiple and plentiful of walls of black people on walls.
I'm Deborah, and this is my mural. When I was approached about this project as a portrait painter, I kind of like the idea of a challenge. I've done large-scale pieces that were called murals, but I had never done an outdoor mural, and I really love the subject matter. They didn't assign the subjects right off the bat. We had to kind of hear what they were going to do, and I was thrilled. I got to pick it, and this is the one that I was most happy with.
If you love animals, Animal Zone is for you. From rescues to animal experts, Animal Zone is fun for the whole family. Watch Animal Zone right here on Your View, Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. and visit animalzone.org to learn more about the show.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.